Hi, this is Tolec of the Andromeda Council. Today is Friday, September 6th, 2013. I'm speaking with you today because of a topic which the media is calling Comet Ison, and which my contacts on the Andromeda Council biosphere call Xanterexx. I'm very aware that it's a topic that is causing great discussion out there, some controversy, and a whole bunch of questions for me by you that I wanted to clear up. And therefore, in the past few days, I've secured a number of specific details from my Andromeda Council contacts regarding Xanterexx, its star system and planet of origin, executive officers, crew complement, and its purpose in coming here. That's probably the most germane topic relative to what the media is calling Comet Ison. So I'll be giving you those details in this report. First of all, as a reference point, I've pulled together a few photo images that people have pulled down and made available on the internet of what people are alleging to be Comet Ison. And of course, people are analyzing and dissecting these images with some pretty amazing technology. And yet, things are not always as they seem. This object called Comet Ison is one of those situations. I pulled together a composite image of what people are telling me that Comet Ison looks like. Seems to be a round ship or a biosphere being accompanied by a couple of other ships. Well, that's exactly what it is, a biosphere, and its name is Xanterexx, and it's traveling apparently as slow as it is because they want you to notice it. They want the kind of discussion that's being generated right now because it is in fact a harbinger for extensive contact and visitation. But let's talk about the origin specifics of this biosphere. It came out of the Cygnus constellation Deneb star system, which is the number 9 senior member of the Andromeda Council, and therefore a member also of the Galactic Federation. Its home planet is Palka. In this next slide, I'm showing you a mock-up that I made of what the biosphere looks like, at least if you take away the external glow. Now here are the specifics on it. Its diameter is 300 miles. There are 100 executive officers. It has a total crew complement of 5,000 people, and the total number of races represented on board this biosphere is 30. Also, please understand that this biosphere includes the member races of the 4 aligned visiting Andromeda Council planets, which will be visiting with the people of Earth. And they include Ventra, Nicote, Tolec, and Retol. Now I'm going to talk about the 2 large-scale escort ships which are accompanying the biosphere. I call them city-size because based on the imagery that my Andromeda Council contact showed me, they seem to be about the size of a large metropolitan city here in the U.S. In any case, there are 2 of them. They originate from the Procyon star system. And you'll remember the Procyon people as being the ones who pretty effectively took out a number of undersea Draco and Hydra-reptilian bases here on Earth. Now, it makes sense that these large-scale ships from Procyon were assigned to this mission as escorts, because if the remaining Draco and Hydra-reptilian leaders and the few forces they have left on planet decide an overt power takeover or some kind of attack, these ships from Procyon stand ready to step in and take care of any situation that might arise like this one I just described. So these are in fact the two ships that are escorting the biosphere Xanterexx. And because of their large size, they only appear to be casting a large longitudinal glow. And especially at the angle they are traveling at. Keep in mind they're almost perpendicular to the biosphere in terms of their travel pattern. And next I will address the importance of what this pattern means. There is a very specific reason for the travel pattern, or maybe we want to call it the organization and layout of these three ships as they're heading toward Earth space. I'm going to give you a reference. A lot of you probably are familiar with the concept of sacred geometry. And one of the, let's call it symbols of sacred geometry in a few forms is that of a globe or a sphere inside of a triangle. Well, if you look at the travel pattern or the organization and layout of the biosphere and these two escort ships, you in fact have an orb or a sphere, and at two perpendicular angles you have one escort ship and another escort ship. Well, if you connected the lines, mythical lines if you will, of these escort ships to the back, you'd in fact have a triangle with a sphere inside. I saw an image very much like this back in 1993 or 1994, and it was sort of like a blue crystal orb inside of a triangle, or maybe even a pyramid. Well, what meaning does this have? I'll tell you what my Andromeda Council contacts told me. They told me it has two meanings. The first one is that the symbol of a triangle or a pyramid with a sphere inside is and has been known a long time around the universe as a symbol for peace, for universal peace. The second meaning that this particular organization and layout, they called it homecoming. That was specifically the term they used, homecoming. And so what does homecoming mean for us? I believe for those of us, our inhabitants of planet Earth, in the near future we're going to get to be meeting people who are our relatives, who come from the stars, humans of all different sizes and colors and beliefs and ways of living that we've never encountered before. And this is going to be our first open exposure to open contact and visitation. That is the purpose of this biosphere and these two escort ships as they head toward Earth space. They are a harbinger of long-term contact and visitation. In closing, thanks for your high level of interest and all of your questions regarding this topic. I know there's been some significant discussion about it as well as some controversy. But that's a good thing, that a topic like this, a topic essentially called First Contact, is generating so much discussion. That's a good thing. Whether people agree or don't agree is not always important, but what is important is the discussion. Because keep in mind that especially regarding a subject matter, an elusive one like the topic of extraterrestrial life, things are not always as they seem. And this is one of those cases. But the good news is first contact and visitation is not far off, and this collection of ships is in fact the harbinger for that new beginning in the history of our planet. That's it from here. I hope this report proved helpful as well as being insightful. Until next time, take care and wo dakote. Peace to you all.